All right, so welcome to this week's Game Story. What are we going to be talking about?
So I'm going to talk to you about my favorite party game.
Is it apples to apples?
So, what is your favorite party game?
Apples to apples.
How about you, Chris Rachel?
I've got to go with Chrononauts.
Chrononauts and apples to apples. So, to your mind, what makes a good party game?
It's something that you can get as many people as possible in because I don't
Large
like
number
games
of
like
people,
here you
yeah.
go, 4 to 6 people. But
Werewolf
what if you
is
had,
good
like,
that way.
7? Yeah, like Werewolf's good. Like
Yep.
Cranium is awesome because you get 4 teams and they can be as many people. I like the games you can have as many people as possible because I don't like the limits of 2 to 4 players.
Also something that people can duck in and out of, so
Yep.
that if they want to go socialize and then come back in, that'll work pretty well.
Absolutely. So, those are classic traits of party games, ones that incorporate a lot of people, ones that you can teach really quickly, ones that play pretty fast, ones that don't have player elimination, and ones that, it's either they play real fast or it's real easy for people to come in and go out, right?
Yes.
So, some ones that are classics. You mentioned one, Apples to Apples is a classic party game. And there's also Werewolf, right?
Yeah.
Werewolf, classic party game for all of these reasons. My favorite party game is Time's Up.
I have never even heard of that.
Time's Up is a fantastic party game. Also, it's based off of a classic folk game, but that's for a different discussion. But Time's Up. We're going to learn how to play it real fast.
Okay.
And then I'm going to deconstruct it and explain why Time's Up is the best party game out there, period.
Okay.
Hands down.
Well.
So, Time's Up. The way you play Time's Up, it's done in rounds. In the first round, it's basically charades. So you get a little card. If you're the clue giver, you have a card, and it's got a name of a person on it. And what you're doing is you're playing charades. So if it says Abraham Lincoln, you can basically do any gestures you want to do, say anything you want to say, except you can't go, Abraham Lincoln. That's totally
Nothing
cheating.
obvious, right?
Yeah.
Right. The other interesting thing about it is that your teammates, if they don't get it right, you have to stay on that card. You have to keep running that
Oh.
card until you run out of time. You can't pass. You can't go, An important thing to note is that this deck of cards that you're playing through, it's shared between the two teams. So each team uses the same deck. So if you're trying to get him to say Abraham Lincoln and he's just not getting it, but the other team then is like, what Chris Rachel was doing, Abraham Lincoln, boom. So it rewards people for paying attention during the other team turns.
Okay.
Round 2. In round 2, you take the same deck of cards. So once the deck's exhausted, you reshuffle it and you play the exact same deck again. But in round 2, you're allowed one word and any gestures or noises you want to make. So for example, President, do. Abraham Lincoln. So you run through the entire deck again in round 2. And in round 3, what you do is you're not allowed to use any words, but you can use any gestures you want, and you can make any sound effects you want. Right?
This is the round people strangle each other in, isn't it?
Here's the thing, right? Is that in rounds 1 and 2, you lay the framework for round 3. So in round 1, it easily takes like 2/3 of the game. Round 2, it goes much faster. Round 3, people are doing the craziest, weirdest things, but they get it.
Okay.
And this actually brings us to,
Uh-oh.
all right, do this card first, do the bottom card last, all right?
All right.
So just put them in front of you, make sure you go in that order. Do the blue side. Up. All right, go. Go. You can say anything you want to say, except the actual thing on the card.
I am tired of these MFing snakes.
Samuel L. Jackson, Snakes on a Plane.
All right, go. Next one.
I'm not okay. I wear a tunic, not a tunic, a toga. And
Roman, Julius Caesar.
I'm intelligent. I come up with like smart ideas, which is totally against
Athena, Apollo.
Do I look like a woman?
Can I say something?
Yes.
I drank what?
I drink-
Dionysus,
No.
God of Wine.
No. Do I have to move on to the next one? if
No,
we're
no.
stuck? Oh no, I'm stuck on this card. Okay.
I thought I drank what would give it
Oh,
away.
what do you wear with your shoes?
Sandals,
No, what do you wear in your shoes?
socks.
Yes, and I'm smart and I'm old Greek. Socks.
Socks.
You said socks, but
Socrates.
yeah.
Number 3.
I don't know how I got through that one. Okay. I'm just a know-it-all wizard, and I'm gonna have to save you again.
Gandalf.
No,
Harry Potter.
almost.
Hermione.
Yes.
You were insistent that you're not a woman, so I wasn't going to go to Hermione first.
All right, let's see this one. I'm chocolatey goodness, and I've got fangs.
Count Chocula.
All right, so You ran through it. Shuffle them up. And, all right, do it again.
Yellow side.
But
or
this
blue
time
side?
he can only.
Blue side, but you're allowed one word, any gestures or sounds you want to make.
Intelligence.
Socrates.
Wizard.
Hermione.
Cereal.
Count Chocula.
Snakes.
On a plane. But Samuel L. Jackson.
All right, way faster, right?
Yeah.
All right, shuffle them again.
And this time it's gestures.
Now you see, you've given yourself a difficult thing. You weren't anchoring the things to gestures or sound effects, so this is going to be hilarious. But go.
But I know it's a limited selection, so.
Oh.
Count Chocula. Socrates. Hermione. Abraham Lincoln. Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
All right, so that's time's up. Very, very brief, very, very short. Incidentally, I came so close to stacking this deck with, came so close to stacking the deck with Count Chocula, Dracula, Compound Count,
So it
and
would
then
just be
Van
vampires.
Helsing. So that if you went blah, she'd be like, this one, no, this one, no, this one, no.
All right. So
So time's up. You laughed during it, right?
Yeah.
And what you were doing is you were building this kind of shared language. The reason time's up is the best party game out there is because it tricks you, and if I was trying to be insidious, it brainwashes you into thinking you're friends. If you play this with people that you don't know, I mean,
Do go on.
so what it does is it brainwashes you into thinking that you're friends with the people you're playing with. And it does this by creating idioculture. So idioculture, right? Idioculture is the kind of stuff that we use as geeks to identify other people within our geek culture. So if I say something shiny,
I know you like Firefly.
you know I like Firefly. If I say, right? You know that I'm into Python. If I talk about, you know, if I know the difference between Hal Jordan and other Green Lanterns, then you know that I'm really into comics, right?
yeah.
And so we use these things as geeks to cross-identify across cultures, right? But within peer groups, we have our own idiocultures. You know, in one peer group, you say 2 spoons, and people are like, ha, 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 right? And this is how we identify each other. This is how we say, we are alike, we are the same, we have this shared culture.
And so this
idioculture.
immediately creates this artificial sense of that?
What it does is it artificially creates idioculture, because what you have is you have these arbitrarily picked out nouns, arbitrarily picked out people. And what you have to do is you have to get other people to identify them, and you have to get them to identify them through very compact memes. While you're playing, you got to pay attention to the other teams that are playing, because they might mess up that clue, and then you can use the memes that they were creating, right? Or if they have a really solid meme, the next time it comes up in round 2 or round 3, you got to use the meme they anchored on, right? There was one where it was like Albert Broccoli or something, the person who directs the James Bond film, and you know, it became vegetable or something, and that became Albert Broccoli. It forces you into creating idiocultural memes that bind the group, that everybody's paying attention to under extreme time pressure in a party context.
I like it.
And at the end of it, you end up thinking that you're friends with the people you've been playing with.
So for people out there that are potential game designers, what lesson could they take from this?
Oh my God, that's a fantastic question. I don't know if I have a good answer to that, because this one, what it does is actually, all right, the answer to that is that if you're trying to bind people together, you need to take a look at what people bond on a social level, and then frankly exploit it. Incorporate.
I'm all for exploiting people.
Obviously.
There was,
By the way, I hear there's some great cookbooks you can buy.
there's the point I had. I forgot it.
So I'm surprised. I would not have thought about it that way. Now I'm gonna start thinking about other party games that way. And I think maybe Cards Against Humanity might do that, or
Yeah.
Mad Scientist does.
I just remembered the last thing I was going to say, which is that the other thing that kicks me is that this has been ridiculously popular. It sells really, really well. And it's just a folk game. How much time do I have left?
About 30 seconds.
All right, so you can make this game yourself. You don't have to go out and buy this. This is a great game, and it's fun to buy. But to play this game, look on the internet, Google for celebrities. But basically, if you just get your friends together and you all just write down a few famous people in a piece of paper, and you throw those little slips of paper into a hat, and you just draw out of the hat, and you play until the hat's done. Same darn game. There are a lot of great folk games, and this is just one that's been successfully marketed and put in a box.
Well, awesome. We'll be back with more Game Storming in November.
Woo!
Because we have an hour-long episode in 2 weeks. So we'll see you in about a month.